Hey, I'm Ty Newton, here to answer some questions about my debut album, The Future Isn't What It Used to Be. It's been over 10 years since I have released music and my first solo release ever, so I'm pretty happy to be back. Because it's been so long, I don't really know where my audience is these days. So with that in mind, I decided to share the record early with a few music enthusiasts in my sphere and invite them to hit me with their questions and curiosities. This will be my first round of responses. I hope this will be a fun way to share some insights into the record that I would have never thought of just on my own. Also, big shout out to a music artist up in Toronto by the name of Paul Chin, who is doing some really cool stuff, totally different style of music and different scene. This whole idea was inspired by his series, Answering Your DMs, and he probably did a way better job than I'm about to do, but let's give it a shot. Okay, first of all, let's answer the obvious question of where the heck have I been? What's taken me so long? Well, a lot of it, of course, is life, but so much more than that as well. It took quite a few years to learn to work around a voice condition that has affected my singing voice. I've spent countless hours learning to wear all of the hats and handle every aspect of the music production all in-house, which has been very fun and, of course, also very time-consuming. And the whole time, I never stopped making songs, so the songs on this record are really not new at this point, just the first cohesive set out of about 3 albums worth of material. So there will be quite a bit more to come. Okay, the first real question comes from my dear friend Tull. Tull asks, "It sounds like the album is a chronological journey of the story you described." Tull is referring to a description that I shared so that they would have a bit of context, which eventually everyone will have. So I'll give you a little piece of that to start. The Future Isn't What It Used to Be tells the story of someone finding home in another human and then the loss of that connection and that sense of home. It's absolutely a chronological story, although I would say that some songs kind of overlap and are contained within each other and things like that. The songs Forever and Anon and Lioness are a bit wrapped up in each other chronologically, and I would say that the title track, The Future Isn't What It Used to Be, is basically a summary of the entire story, but I think it will make sense coming into the timeline where it does when you're listening to the whole record. I also think the record could really work as 2 EPs, with the first half being the hopeful, sunny side, and then the second half starting with Rally Love going way, way dark. But absolutely, this is meant to be a chronological story. And that's why this collection of songs really had to be the first cohesive set that I released, despite having other songs created both before and quite a few since then. Okay, next question, also from Tull. Tull hit me with so many questions that they are likely to be in a whole bunch of these. Thanks, buddy. Tull asks, which song feels the most timeless to you personally? I know you said a lot of this feels like listening to someone else's story by now, so I wonder which song you could see yourself most coming back to again and again for a long time. Yeah, so I did also share how the making of these songs is enough in the past that it's almost like listening into someone else's story at this point for me, which is really kind of cool. And yet, I do feel like I can bring myself into the feelings of each of these songs, honestly, sort of the same way I can do with anyone else's songs, you know? And that's what I think songs are for a lot of times, right? They bring you into some story or some feeling. And I imagine it's a bit the way actors do it when they tap into some past experiences. I think it's a big reason why I make songs in the first place. It's an incredible tool for processing feelings to understand them better and move forward. Back to the question, if I had to choose one as most timeless, I think Home is probably the best fit. The song Home represents a feeling I've had over and over again, and I expect others have too. It's the struggle to feel both at home and like home with a person, a place, a life. Plenty of times I've felt at home with two, but not all three of those things. And very rarely have all of them reciprocally aligned, often only briefly. And so this song being at the beginning of the record, I imagine it's sort of like this person explaining this experience to someone that they've just met that is about to become very important to them. And at least for a time, become an answer to that feeling, that struggle to find home. Next question comes from Kay. Kay asks, did you use AI to make this record? Absolutely not. And I love this question. Kay knows how I feel about this subject. Everything on this record was made with my human hands and my human mind making every little decision. And that's what I love about the process. It's all of the little intentional and accidental stumbles and granular decisions that get made in the process. And that's what I love about connecting with other people's music as well, knowing that there is so much of them and their discovery and their process in every little bit of what they're creating. Okay, that's it for this round. Thank you so much for the questions. There are a whole lot more coming. If all goes to plan, I intend to release one of these for each of the 10 songs on this record over the coming weeks. If you have more questions for me, please feel free to hit me with those in the comments or in direct messages. I can't wait to share more with you all very soon. Thanks for listening. So let's give it a shot.